We're into April, and as you know, that means it's time for Monte Carlo. And the crazy thing is, in 2026, we are still yet to see Carlos Alcaraz face off with Jannik Sinner. They're the other side of the draw yet again. Could it be here in Monte Carlo? Well, let's get straight into it because this video is a little bit late. Monte Carlo action has already started. The draws are fully out. And as you can see on the screen right now, this is the top half of the draw. So Carlos Alcaraz is half, the number one seed, the reigning champion, the guy who's taken over from Rafael Nadal. I mean, let's see if I've still got the graphic up here of all of the winners at Monte Carlo. You won't be surprised to see that this is a tournament Rafael Nadal has absolutely loved over the years. I mean, look at how many here. Rafael Nadal from 2005 all the way through to 2012. He then come back and won another 3 in 2016, 17 and 18. And now if we go to the most recent in 2025, Carlos Alcaraz, another Spanish flag there. And Tsitsipas, someone who does very well at this tournament as well. But important to know, as I'm doing this video, Stefanos Tsitsipas has just gone out. He has lost to a very good player in Francisco Cerundolo, someone who I think even has claims to go on and beat maybe a Carlos Alcaraz or a Jannik Sinner and win this tournament. And that's how good I think he is on the clay courts, has defeated Tsitsipas. So the guy who's won it 3 times, he is out. He didn't look too pleased when he walked to the net. Very deflated Stefanos Tsitsipas. And he's going to fall now to number 65 in the live ATP rankings, which is insane to think. And 2026 and these last few years really have not gone his way. You've got other young players coming through who really have just outshone him in every department. But enough about that. Let's speak about Alcaraz. And the crazy thing here was that there was the potential matchup with Carlos Alcaraz, Stan Wawrinka. They've never played each other. This is Stan's last Monte Carlo. It's his last year on tour. He's the oldest player to play in a Masters event, 41 years old. It's just insane, really, that he's doing it. And he lost to Baez. It was very close. So we're not going to get that match with Carlos Alcaraz, Stan Wawrinka, but still ridiculous, considering he was someone who won this event. Let me just have a look. In 2014, for him to be here in 2026, still competing and playing well, is an outstanding story. But Carlos, will he be pleased? Maybe not, because Baez is a tough player, but you'd expect Carlos to have a little bit too much. In terms of the top half in general, Lorenzo Musetti is the 4th seed in this section. You've then got Alex de Minaur as a 5th seed and Bublik. So they're the notable seeds. Other ones to speak about, of course, is Lehechka, who's had a really good event in the last one. Kaboli, who I think can be quite dangerous on the clay. Vachereau as an unseeded player. We've seen the interviews from Vachereau this week. He said that winning Monte Carlo would be a bigger achievement for him than a Grand Slam. If he could choose between winning a Grand Slam or winning Monte Carlo, he would choose Monte Carlo. So that just goes to show how much he loves this event. Of course, we knew Vachereau from Monte Carlo over the years because he used to always get the wild card in. Never did very well in any other tournament. Didn't even do very well here at Monte Carlo, but his fortunes have turned around. He's playing extremely well right now and definitely a dangerous player for someone like a Musetti who is not playing tennis right now. He's had a few injury concerns, and I think this is not a good draw at all for Lorenzo Musetti. Moving down, Gael Monfils, he's beating Greek Sport, so that's a good one. And on the whole, as much as I'm saying there's some good players, I don't think it's as good as Jannik Sinner's. The reason being, on the bottom half, this means that there's going to be Zverev and Daniil Medvedev on the section of Jannik Sinner. We might as well just go to it as well. And I think them 2 players, add in Cerundolo as well. I've already said I think he is the top 5 in the world on a clay court. I think he's that good. and someone who's really, really dangerous. Zverev being the obvious most dangerous, the one you'd want to avoid the most. To have Medvedev there too, a Fonseca. I think this half is tougher than the half of Carlos Alcaraz. If you put that alongside the fact that Carlos Alcaraz is a better clay court player than Sinner, I think he is the real winner from the draw. And he will be the favourite, no doubts about it. I mean, probably irrelevant to the draw, he would have still been the favourite considering he's so good on the clay and he won it here last year. But now with the draw, I think it makes him a bigger favourite. And I don't really know where his big first difficult match would come from, because an Alex de Minaur is not troubling a Carlos Alcaraz. Massetti right now with the injury concerns, I wouldn't be worried about. He's not going to lose to a Caboli. I honestly think, and this could be crazy what I'm going to say, but someone like a Vachereau, who's a Mensik potentially. We've seen Marazan beat him in the past, but I don't think it's the same Marazan right now. It's difficult to look at anything other than a Carlos Alcaraz final. I just don't see anyone on this half potentially beating him. I think a Vachereau inspired form is interesting. I would love to see it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh on everyone else, but I just can't see where a loss comes from for Carlos Alcaraz in this top half. If we go back to the Yannick Sinner half, that's not the same. I mean, Fonseca has just beaten Diallo. Medvedev is not very good on the clay. He's got a new team now around him. Is his fortunes going to turn around? He's had a good start to the year. I don't think so, but still, he's a dangerous player on any surface. Cerundolo, I've already said, I think he is right up there, top 5 clay court players in the world, and dangerous. Rude, we know what he can do on a clay court. Been to Roland Garros final a few times. Interesting, but Zverev is one which I think is super tough. You've got Rublev, who won this event a few years ago, and let's see how Zverev gets on, because if Zverev is playing the inspired clay court tennis we know he can, then he could beat a Yannick Sinner here, definitely. And that is a really tight match. I think if Zverev and Sinner are to play on any surface where it's going to be super tight and close, it would be on a clay court. And I think Monte Carlo would be interesting for that. And there's that is a potential banana skin. Before that, it would be a Cerundolo, because Yannick Sinner, let's bring up his route in more detail. He would have to play. So he's got first round Umber because Kwame went out. Then he would be playing Cerundolo, I think. Maybe you could say Thomas Mahatch, but I think Cerundolo will be there. Then maybe a Casper Ruud, which is crazy. Then a semi-final of either Zverev, Medvedev, or Rublev. And then final, of course, you'd expect it to be a Carlos Alcaraz. This is a really tough draw for Yannick Sinner. And all of my eyes would be on this third round matchup, because I really do believe Francisco Cerundolo can do it. He's just beaten Tsitsipas. He is such a good player on the clay courts. And I hope we get the matchup. Sinner, of course, will be a big favourite, but that will be a proper test. And that's where his tournament begins. If you look at Carlos Alcaraz's, his tournament, I don't think begins until the final. I just don't see him losing before that stage. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Am I overdoing this for Carlos Alcaraz? I don't think so. I really don't. I think he is just super good right now. And I feel he's going to have to... The players who I would be worried about are Zverev and Cerundolo, and both of them on the other side. Medvedev too. Fonseca, I think it's a little bit too soon. He's been speaking about the cars there in Monte Carlo, how much he loves going to see all the supercars and the place. I think he's very much enjoying the atmosphere. And I think it's a bit too soon for him to be a contender to win this event, but still a super, super dangerous player. There you go. That is some of my thoughts. I am looking at the draw. I'm thinking this is made for Carlos Alcaraz. He is my pick to go on and win Monte Carlo. I'm sure most people will think that. He is the favorite. He is world number one. Jannik Sinner's done extremely well these last few events. He's closed the gap on him and Carlos Alcaraz. But I just don't think he's going to be able to close any gaps here, because for me, Carlos Alcaraz is winning this. The interesting thing is, are we going to get a Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz final? I think that's what people will be talking about. I feel like there's really good chances of that happening. The problem is Jannik Sinner's going to have to play a few tough matches to get there. Definitely can do it. And I think it's a real possibility that we finally get a Sinner-Alcaraz match in 2026. But that's my thoughts. If you haven't already, please give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for Monte Carlo action.